What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Today we got a 2014 Polaris Sportsman HO having some carburetor issues, and we just decided to go ahead and replace the entire thing. So I've seen a few videos on, the generation before this ATV on how to replace the carburetor, but I just haven't seen any in this generation here. So I thought I'd make a video of this. So stick around and we're gonna get to it. All right, so first thing that we're gonna do here is right here, there's a latch. Just pull up on this latch here. The seat will pop off just like so. Next, I think it'd be a little easier. These 6 clips here. Take this off for the air cover here. Next thing is we're gonna take off this plastic piece here, and let's see, off here first. I believe it just pops out, and then just pops out, comes out just like that. So that's the side. Next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna remove the air box here. It looks like that even removing the tube here, it'll just give me a little bit more room to work with. Might not be necessary, but that's just something that I'm gonna do. And it looks like it's held in by a bolt here, and let's see where else. And we have a hose clamp right here. So let's go ahead and take that out. Oh, it looks like we got 2 hoses here. There we go. These hoses were being a little stubborn, so I grabbed a hose pliers here. Do a little twisty motion. Can't do this really with one hand, but you do a little twisty motion here. Should be able to hear it come loose. It should eventually pop off. The other one popped off here. You guys will see when you get to it. But just give it twisting motions here. It'll eventually pop off. Be very careful because this is made out of plastic. And she's out. So it was just these 2 hoses. It's just being stubborn. Like I said, do a twisting motion, pull it out, she'll pop right out. I did notice that there was another hose in the back here, and that actually went right in this hole right here. So you just pull that out, pull it all in. We are going to be replacing this air filter as well. You can leave it in there, no big deal. So with that said, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this breather. I believe this is a breather for the clutch case here. So this is something that I forgot to point out. What I usually like to do is I like to put bolts and screws and nuts and such like that back where they belong as much as possible. This leaves better organization, not losing your nuts and bolts and screws and such, and then also you'll know which nuts go where. So that's just something that I like to do. Okay, next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bolt. We're just basically gonna take this bracket off here. It looks like it's a nut here, screw here, and then another nut on the other side, and then we'll get this bracket off. Okay, with that bracket put away, I actually did put the screws that were on the carburetor right there onto the new carburetor here, just so I can keep track of them. Next thing that I'm gonna do is we're gonna take these hoses off, then this fuel hose, and then we gotta figure something out for the choke cable as well. So let's get to it. These hoses here should just pop off here. Yep, just like that. This one on this side. There we go. put this thing off to the side here as well. Close this. Okay, there's that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get to the fuel that's right there. A nice tool to have as well, if you don't have one, is these hose pinching tools right here. Put them on the hose, pinch it off. You won't lose fuel, coolant, whatever. It's a very fantastic tool. So let's see if I can actually sneak up and under here. Shove it in there. There we go. Just gonna pinch it off. Come on. There we go. Pinch it off just like that. All you'll do is squeeze, and then it'll stay like that. But then we will need a hose clamp for that, or a tool for this hose clamp here, and it should be able to just pop off. Okay, so we'll get our pliers, shove them in there, squeeze, pull up on it, just like that. Then we should be able to grab it, do a twisting motion here, have that thing pop out. Just like that. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get this clamp off right here, and then we're gonna pinch off this hose right here, and then take this clamp off right here. Another tool that has helped me out quite a lot in my mechanic career is this hose clamp tool here. Kind of extends out about 1.5 feet or so, and then as I squeeze here on the hose clamp right here, you'll see that it eventually closes in. And you'll hear the clicking, and it'll stay locked in that position. I can take my hands off, it'll stay in that position. And then when you're done with it, you'll just push down on this thumb thing here, push it down, and then you'll just slowly release, and you'll see that it releases the tension there. So that's something that's helped me out a lot here. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Oops, there goes my light. See if I can put that guy right there. So I'll put the two ends that are right there onto the clamp right there. Something like that. And then we'll just squeeze on the tool there. I can't do this with one hand, so you guys will see what it looks like when it comes off. Okay, so we got it latched down like that. I'm squeezing here, so I'll squeeze a little bit more. It doesn't quite have enough real estate to squeeze it all the way, so what I'll do is I'll kind of just rotate it up so that I can get a channel lock in there and get it out like so. Well, she fought me a little bit, but we finally got it all the way back. Now, same thing here. You'll do a twisting motion. Might have to get a channel lock or something to clamp onto the hose here. Do this number here, and then she'll eventually pop off. And that was for fuel as well, so I'll put a towel over the hose as well. Shove to the side. Cool, cool, cool there. Now we're gonna get to that clamp that's right back there. Okay, now that we got that clamp all loose, we should be able to just pop this carburetor out just like that. Next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get to the choke cable and throttle cable right here. The throttle cable, this guy right here. Choke cable being this guy right here. So for the throttle cable, there is a little sleeve that's right here. You should be able to just shove this thing up here. And should be able to expose the cable right there. And then I believe we gotta take this cover off, and then we'll be able to get access to the mechanism itself here. Okay, now that we got this nut out, we're gonna take these 4 screws out of here, and we're gonna get to that throttle. Okay, with the 4 bolts out, we should be able to take that cover off. Should have a gasket on it as well. Oh, it's still right here. Oh, maybe not. No gasket? That's weird. There's usually a gasket there. But anyway, so now we got the cable here. So now we'll take the cable off from here, and then we'll be able to take this cable all the way through this hole and take it all the way out. Something that I forgot, there is a little hose here as well that you can just pop off, and we'll just get that out of our way. Make sure we plug that thing in when we put the new carb in. And it looks like this cable here, it looks like it just pops up, and then out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So when taking the throttle cable out here, we already took this nut off. Something that's helped me is putting my finger, or one of my fingers, in the throttle plate, pushing it down, and then putting my other finger here to put it up. So now we are in the wide open position, and now we're gonna flip it around so we can get to this part here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screwdriver right in here, lift out the cable around here. Oh, I guess it just popped out just like that. So then I can actually take that part out, take my finger out of the hole there. Should be able to take this piece out right here. So all this piece will be is you'll just push it back and then out, because then you'll see that it has a hole here where this little nub here will go into that hole right, it'll focus right there, and then it's got a slit right in there, and then it'll just pop out, and then it'll just pull, the throttle cable will just pull out of the hole right here. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this choke cable out. Now I know I've seen a few, there's another sleeve here, I should say, right here, that you'll have to pull out. Now to my understanding is you'll have to modify a socket to be able to get to this nut right there, but it almost looks like I can do it without. Oh, I might stand corrected here. Should be able to pull that thing out. All right, I can't do this with one hand, so you'll loosen up this cap here. Oh, it's this one that we got to do. Okay. Yeah, it's this nut that we got to get off. We do still have to take this cap off as well. So take that cap off, just like the throttle cable right there. Slide it up, and then we'll be able to get to the choke cable there. So I did see this on a other YouTube video on getting the choke cable out, how you cannot get a wrench or literally anything in there. I did see it for a guy. He modified a 12mm socket, cut a slit in there so that you can get, this is the throttle cable, but just so that you can get the slit inside the cable, put it in there, and you should be able to get it out. I wonder if I can do this. Let's see here. I can do it with one hand. All right, I'll do it, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is what it looks like, guys. Let's see. You can see that the cable is in the socket, like right there. I did already crack it loose. It will be a little bit of annoying, but it works. You won't have to get a special tool or anything like that. But what you will have to do is take it off and then put it back on, take it off, put it back on, and then until you can get it finger loose, take it all the way out, and then we'll go from there. Yep. So for me, guys, it actually, as soon as you unscrewed this part here, it actually just popped out. And so that is how you remove the carburetor there. I won't go into detail in this video on how to clean, rebuild, whatever you want to do with the carb. That'll be for a later video, because we do have a brand new carb right here. I did notice on the new carb, it does come with a new cap here. You can replace that if you want. I like to replace new parts as I get them. It looks like kind of the same thing with the throttle cable. You'll just, let's see. It'll just pop out of this hole here. What if I can do it? I don't think I can do it with one hand. But you'll just pop this out of the cable there, and then the thing will come out, the spring will come out. You'll be able to take the cap off, put the new cap on, and then you'll be able to go from there. And then basically just to put this thing back together is literally in reverse order. Something that helped me put this choke cable back in was I put this nut back on, and then I'm using a wrench to tighten it up here, like that. And then I'll eventually have to take this nut off again, and then get the modified socket on there to get it real tight, then put this thing back on there, get it tight permanently, then put this sleeve back on. Okay, so putting it back on, literally the reverse order. So I'm gonna put my finger back in the bottom, get this thing to lift up, put my finger in so that we can see that it's all the way in the up position. I'm gonna put the cable all the way in again. Let me take this piece right in here. Okay, get the screwdriver. Just like that. Okay, we'll get our little piece here. Actually, I probably don't need to put my finger in there yet. I'm gonna put the slot in here, push it all the way forward. So now it's all the way in. Now I'll actually put my finger in the throttle body. Put it in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it under the piece here, put the cable underneath it. We're gonna put the golden piece in there. Then we're gonna make sure that the cable here goes into that little slot right in here. I'll get the screwdriver. Make sure that it goes right in there, so it actually already did, and now it's actually installed. So now I can push on the thumbs here, and now the throttle works. Okay, so then we'll put this guy back on. I already kind of got it in there. You'll tighten it with a wrench, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this cap on. The kit did come with a new cap and new screws that I just saw here. We don't need this part, but and then this is the old cap for the throttle. Did come with some new screws and a gasket and a new cover as well, so we'll definitely install those as well. The new kit did also come with a new fuel filter, so we'll definitely be installing that as well. I believe that the fuel filter is that guy right there, that little red thing. I'm gonna confirm that, but I haven't seen anything else around the fuel system area that would be a fuel filter, so we'll definitely replace that, and we'll keep hammering away here. Okay, so we'll adjust this throttle. I believe it's the low idle throttle. Can't remember what it's called. Here, we'll just have this all the way out for now. We'll adjust that once we get everything back together and fire it up. But then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put this cover back on. So we'll just put that guy in there. Put the screws on, put the cover on, back on, and we'll keep going there. So doing this fuel filter here, so this fuel tank was actually empty. I didn't know that. I did put a clamp there, and then nothing came out of that. It actually accidentally slipped off. So there was a fuel filter there. It was that red piece that was right here. There's just a clamp that's right there. You just shove that back, and then it's a fuel filter here. And then on the white end of this fuel filter, there was this hose right here. Same thing. There's just a clamp there. And then we're just going to be replacing it with this fuel filter here. So all I'm going to do here is we're going to look for the flow as well. So right here where it says, I don't know if we can see it, but right here it says on, and there's an arrow pointing, which is the flow. So the fuel should go in through the filter and out this way. So I'll actually have to flip this thing around, and this end is gonna go in this hose end here. So we'll actually shove that puppy in there like so, and then we'll put the clamp on here. Then we'll put this hose on right here like so, put the clamps on, and we'll be good to go there. So when I was actually replacing the fuel filter, I ran into an issue where I put the fuel filter in, I put the clamp in, but then I would twist it just to make sure it's secure, and it would just twist and twist and twist and twist. Well, what's happened is this hole has expanded too much for it to get a good bite on the nipple there. So what I actually ended up doing was I took a side cutter. What did I do with it? Took a side cutter, and here, I'll go over here. And I cut about right there, because you guys will feel where the little hump is. I wonder if you can even see it on camera, about right there. So right where my thumb is where I cut it, about right there. Right there. So I actually did it on this side already, put the clamp on. So on this side, it's good to go. On this side, going into the carb, it'll be okay because this is a metal fixture, and as well as it's got a pretty good bevel on it as well. So that should be okay, but I got to get on the tank side here. So I'm going to cut it about right there, and put the filter on, put the clamp on, and move on. Okay, we got the new fuel filter in. I twist this around a little bit, and the hoses are secured. They're not just spinning in there. That clamp is on, the back clamp is on. We're good to go there. And like I said, I didn't cut this hose yet. I'm pretty sure it'll just fit in here, no problem. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take the carb, and we're gonna put it back. Actually, let me get some of this dust out of here. We don't need that in our engine. I'm gonna shove it in there. I'm gonna actually get a better angle here. Shove it back in. Like so. Pop it back in there. Then we'll tighten up this clamp again. Put this ventilation hose in there. I think I said it was fuel, but I don't think it's fuel. I think it's a ventilation hose, or somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And then we'll put the fuel filter in. We'll put these two hoses back in as well, and then we'll go from there. So I actually made a mistake. We're not gonna tighten down this clamp just yet. When we get to putting this thing back together, we're gonna put the bracket on first. I was here originally, put that bracket on, and then we're gonna tighten up this clamp here. My apologies. So what has actually helped me with these little plastic caps that are on these ports here is to actually cut them like so. Not too hard to where you're gonna cut in the metal. I mean, you should be fine. Cut it like that. Then you should be able to pop these caps out like so. And then you'll be able to shove the hoses in like so. Just like that. And this actually feels pretty snug here. The fuel side, so that actually snugged in. I did the same thing on this side, so I'll actually just take the hose. Where'd you go? Take the hose, shove it in there. Yeah, that popped on real nice. Put the clamps back on. You guys will also see on the hoses where the clamps used to be, so you can just put them back on there, and then you'll be good to go. Next thing we'll do is we'll put these two hoses back on right here. I totally forgot this as well, so make sure this bottom hose here, we shove that back on the bottom. See if I can get a good angle there. What if I go under here? There you go, you can kind of see the nipple right there. Shove it in there. Right there. You guys can see that. Shove it back in there. There is a little clamp here as well. Let's see if I can do this with my fingers. It's not even gonna fit, so I'll just leave it there. But yeah, you'll just shove it in there. There's a little nipple right there. You just shove the hose back up there. You'll be good to go there. Okay, so I think we are at the point where we can test this thing out. So I actually filled this thing up with fresh fuel. I don't see any leaks coming around the fuel area. Got this hose on, these two hoses on, throttles in, choke cables in. I don't think we're missing anything else. The bottom hose is on. So we are at that point. So I don't believe it's gonna fire up right away because I believe we do have to adjust this idle, oh gosh, I can't even remember what it's called. But you guys see what I'm talking about. You can just pinch this thing and you can turn it. We're gonna turn it clockwise, tighten it, and we're gonna see what happens. So I'll turn the key on, make sure that thing's on. We'll see if it fires up. Might have to pull the choke, but I'm actually gonna turn this thing on. I think this is all I gotta do is turn this thing a little bit at a time. So I'm gonna do half turn, so I just did a half turn there. Just like that. Make sure I'm parked. Yeah, I should probably put everything back on. Around the fuel area, see if we have any leaks. All right, I like it. We're gonna continue to put this thing back together and we'll take it for a test drive. Okay, so next thing that we are gonna do is we're gonna put this bracket back on that went here on that bolt there, put these two screws on. We're gonna secure the carburetor there, and then we're gonna tighten this clamp back here. I don't think the flatch is working here. But tighten that clamp there, get that all secured, and go from there. Okay, so with these two nuts tight, these two screws tight, as well as the clamp in the back there tight, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put this tube for the, now correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the clutch case breather, ventilation, whatever you wanna call it. And then we're gonna get the air box on. The air box on here. We will be changing this filter as well. Put the cover back on, put the side cover on, put the seat on, take it for a test drive, see how that goes. Don't forget that when installing the air box, this little hose here, it goes into this little hole that's right here. So I can't really do this with one hand, but you'll just shove that in that hole there, pull it back, put the tube in the carb right there, and put the one bolt there and one bolt in there, and you'll be good to go there. Okay, so with the two bolts in and the hose clamp on, I'm going to be replacing this air filter while we are here as well. When I noticed this clamp was already loose here, so I should be able to just pop this thing up, just like that. I did take the pre-filter off this one. I will be reusing the pre-filter. I'm just going to blow this off with compressed air, get all the dust out of there, and reuse it. and just put it back on the new filter there and put it back in. Okay, I couldn't really show blowing the pre-filter off with the air compressor, but it just slips on there for those who don't know. It's just an elastic band here, like a rubber band. Pull it out. Be able to take that out, old one out, put it on the new one. Should be able to just slide this puppy on here, just like that. And it looks like it does rest on there as well. So we'll do that. Put this clamp on here. Might have to back it off a little bit. Then this clamp goes on right here. And we'll make sure that it's tight. And then we'll put the cover on, seat on, side panel on. We'll be good. One thing that I totally forgot is these hoses here. Make sure that route this hose back in and then back into the air box itself, like that. There's one on the other side as well, right here. Make sure to get that guy in there as well. And then to put the hose clamps back in there on both of them. Right here and there. So before I put the side panel on as well as the seat on, I'm gonna see if we need to adjust the carb one more time with the air box and filter now in it. I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up on camera here, but I don't think it's gonna focus. Right there's where you adjust it. I was able to get my arm in through here to where, you can probably see it better right there. Right next to the bottom hose there's that knob you twist. I was able to get my arm through there and to be able to adjust it. So we'll do that right now. And there we go. That is how you replace the carburetor on a 2014 Sportsman HO. I believe this will apply for other models as well and years. But with that said, I hope that this helps you guys with wanting to change carburetor on the 400 HOs. Hope everybody has a fantastic day.